Now on CoastTV News.
Last-second shopping.
Traffic was crazy.
What food was flying off the shelves and heading straight to the grill. Camping in the heat.
At least out here you get the breeze.
Why some tent campers didn't change up their plans this hot holiday weekend.
USA! USA!
The official 4th of July parade canceled in Bethany.
People come here for the parade.
That didn't stop one group from throwing their own parade. Fireworks safety.
Have that bucket of water fully submerged, soak the product.
What one volunteer fire company says you should know before your 4th of July fun. Free fishing, what the Maryland Department of Natural Resources hopes you catch for free this weekend.
As we prepare for another excessive heat day for the 4th, we're going to talk about what you need to watch out for to avoid getting sick because of Mother Nature's fury.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Calm waters and high temperatures in Lewis. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brandon Ferguson. We're just under 1 hour away from 4th of July. And let's start with our weather and take a live look outside into Ocean City. Wow, look at the boardwalk there, absolutely packed. And let's bring in First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams for a look at our hot weekend forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening. We're under a red alert day because once again we're looking for temperatures to climb to triple digits easily just on the thermometer. And then when you factor in the moisture content in the atmosphere, we're talking about it feeling like earlier today, we got up to 125 for the heat index, at least for one of our locations, which was Milton actually. In Milton right now, we're at 84 degrees. It's 90 in Lewis, 88 in Rehoboth, 86 in Seaford, and 85 in Milford. Now it feels like 90 and still it feels like close to 100 in Seaford, and we still have a heat index of 101 late at night in Millsboro at this hour, 11 o'clock. That's how hot it is. So we have the extreme heat warning that is in effect for all of Sussex and really all of the state, but specifically for our area, Hollyville, Lowe's Crossroads, Bryan Storrs, Sycamore, and all those areas, and for the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Dangerous conditions for tomorrow, so it's another red alert day for July the 4th.
Thank you, Paul. And as Paul just touched on, that extreme heat tonight caused a cooling center to open in Ocean View at John West Park. At around 5 p.m. tonight, Ocean View Police and Delaware Electric Cooperative said more than 3,100 customers lost power because of an equipment problem. Now, most power has since been restored, and at an 8 p.m. Facebook post, the town cooling center is now closed. The heat is not keeping campers away from Assateague Island this weekend. With a little air-conditioned relief, people are using canopies, beach umbrellas, and frequent trips to the water to cool off. Many reserved their campsites months ago and say the ocean breeze makes the heat a little more manageable.
It's much hotter in Baltimore, where I'm from, so it's sweltering there in a way that is absolutely disgusting. So at least out here you get the breeze, the water's nice and cool, so you can chill out a little bit.
And despite the heat, many say the beach, wild horses, and holiday tradition made the trip worth it. Carts were full and aisles were stocked in Salisbury as people tried to beat the crowds and shop ahead of the 4th of July holiday.
Traffic was crazy, so I came somewhat early to, kind of beat the rush, and it's already like picked over out there and stuff. And hopefully it'll cool off a little bit tomorrow for everybody to enjoy it. It's a little stuffy out here today.
And if you are celebrating outside, remember to stay hydrated and take breaks in air-conditioned spaces if possible. Celebrations for Independence Day looked a little different in Bethany Beach today compared to previous years. With an extreme heat warning in effect across Delaware, town leaders in Bethany postponed the annual 4th of July parade. But for many, the tradition was too important to skip. Coast TV's Nicole Richter shows us how the community still celebrated in the sweltering heat.
People swimming at the beach. 4th of July in Bethany Beach usually means patriotic floats and a community tradition.
It's wonderful to celebrate America.
But this year, the annual parade was postponed because of the high heat. Town leaders said the decision was made out of concern for public safety, but that decision didn't sit well with everyone.
This has been going on for like 60 years. The only break was COVID, and there have been hot days, there have been cool days, and we just said, no, we're gonna keep partying, we're gonna parade.
About 60 people organized their own unofficial parade.
USA! USA!
inviting everyone who wanted to celebrate.
The parade is a big part of Bethany Beach. I mean, it's as big as the fireworks. People come here for the parade, and the kids have grown up with the parade. It's just part of the culture of it.
Lisa Davis from Baltimore says she did a lot to get down here for this parade and then found out those plans had changed.
I will admit I was very disappointed when I arrived and to discover that in fact the parade had been canceled. I understand why, because it's so hot, but then to discover that, I'm so happy. I'm just so excited and really thankful to have been able to join them, and it was so fun.
However, not everyone saw the postponement as a negative.
God bless America.
Some downtown businesses say without the official parade, it actually brought in more business.
I think it was a good choice. We've been extremely busy today because now they don't have the parade to go to, so we're still having that.
While opinions varied on the decision, one thing remained the same. People still found ways to celebrate Independence Day despite the heat. The annual parade is postponed to Labor Day weekend, but the town's fireworks are still scheduled for tomorrow night. In Bethany Beach, Nicole Richter, Coast TV News.
All of this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what is your favorite July 4th tradition? Let's take a look at the updated results from our 6 p.m. news hour. 49% I'm with you for barbecues, 33% fireworks, 10% traveling, but hopefully not stuck in traffic, and 8% for community celebrations. If you haven't voted yet or you want to leave a comment, you can do all of that on coasttv.com or on our mobile app. Holiday traffic is already making its way to Delmarva's beaches as thousands of people kick off their 4th of July celebrations. But for first responders, it's one of the busiest weekends of the year. Coast TV News reporter Drew Bellinger shows us how firefighters say you can stay safe and why that safety is really so important.
A weekend where thousands of people cram onto the coast for fun with fireworks like these on the 4th of July is on its way. But the Bethany Beach Volunteer Fire Company says they want to make sure people have their fun safely.
Burn injuries are severe. They take a long time to heal.
Assistant Chief with the fire company, Will Graham, encourages fun, but says there's a lot to keep in mind.
So just be cognizant of the environment you're using them in. That will certainly melt plastic, polyester clothing, and things like that. So if you're going to do sparklers or any type of firework, make sure you're on a concrete pad or something of that sort, away from any houses or structures and any vegetation that might catch fire.
The importance of personal and environmental safety was recently highlighted in Ocean City when a patch of dunes caught fire after first responders in town say illegal fireworks were set off. And last year, police say a man fired fireworks at people in Bethany Beach. Firefighters share that while sparklers like these are small, they can burn at temperatures up to 1,000 degrees and cause severe burns. But it's not just firefighters who are getting ready to answer any calls this weekend. Police departments on the coast like Bethany Beach and Fenwick Island say they will be fully staffed. The Ocean City Police Department also says in a release that they will work with state and local public safety partners to provide additional staffing. Graham says safety doesn't end after the fireworks have been set off, though.
We always see an uptick in dumpster fires or trash receptacle fires. So again, have that bucket of water fully submerged, soak the product before you put it in the dumpster or the trash can.
As the crowds make their way in for the holiday weekend, first responders say a little caution can go a long way. Reporting in Bethany Beach, Drew Bellinger, Coast TV News.
Calling all anglers, you can fish for free in Maryland this weekend. Maryland DNR says the public will be allowed to fish anywhere in the state without a fishing license tomorrow. Officials say license-free fishing is offered every year on July 4th to take advantage of peak summer fishing. The department encourages anglers to catch invasive Chesapeake channa and blue catfish. If you are fishing for free, you still must follow all current regulations and size and catch limits as well. Staying in Maryland, sticking to its commercial oyster harvest limits, DNR says daily limits, seasons, legal size requirements, and other commercial regulations that were in place during the previous season will stay in the same for next season. The Chesapeake Bay Foundation says it supports the decision to leave harvest limits unchanged. Now, the organization says Maryland's oyster population has more than tripled since 2005. Now to updated state park regulations. The Delaware Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control, DNREC, will hold a public hearing. These changes would affect surf fishing access, electric bikes, magnet fishing, campground use, and reservation policies. DNREC says the proposed updates hope to align state park regulations with current Delaware law. That public hearing is being held on Wednesday, August 5th at 6 p.m. We are just getting started here tonight on Coast TV News at 11. Coming up, from county council to the White House, Joe Biden's political career has spanned more than 5 decades. We take a look back at Delaware's first president. TSA screening, the numbers are up. How early you should get to the airport if you are flying this weekend. But first, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams is in the Coast TV First Alert Weather Center. He has more on your dangerously steamy and sweltering forecast after this.
We have at least one more day of dangerously hot conditions that are going to continue to permeate throughout this holiday weekend. We may catch a break with a little bit of rain by late Saturday going into Sunday, and I'll show you that possibility as well. But as of right now, we are still under the gun with this heat and this humidity. In Lewis, we're holding at 85 degrees right now. We'll drop to 82, perhaps with clear skies, by 3 o'clock in the morning. What is most dominant and most important right now is the extreme heat warning that has stayed in effect for the last couple of days. We have at least one more day for tomorrow at the very least. Now, this extreme heat warning is in effect for the entire Delmarva Peninsula, period. We've got heat watches along areas like Ocean City there, but specifically there. But other than that, we're basically under heat warning everywhere else. The air quality has gotten worse everywhere. We've gone from greens to just yellows throughout the entire Delmarva Peninsula. If we change over to orange, that means we're having problems with folks who are chronically dealing with problems with respiratory problems or health or heart problems. That's going to be problematic. We're going to continue to monitor it, but we had a lot of green dots initially, just a simple way for you to interpret this map. Now we're in the yellow, and if we go to the orange, that's trouble. We warmed up to 102, so officially we broke the record today, ultimately. 102 versus 101, and the old record was set at 1954. 102 for us in Georgetown, 101 Salisbury, 103 in Dover. So, yeah, we only have, and then the part that's a kick in the head, only about 3 or 4 degrees warmer than yesterday. We also got up to 103 in Ellendale, 102 in Milford, Harrington, 101 for us actually in 102, in Georgetown, 101, the other Georgetown location. We are at 87 degrees right now in Georgetown. Feels like 96. We still have a heat index of 100 right now at 11:13 at night. It still feels like 100 degrees right now in Millsboro. Also, the UV index is going to be sky high again yet one more day, so your burn time is 10 minutes. You need a hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, and find the shade, particularly between 10 and 4 o'clock. Saturday afternoon, 107 is what it's going to feel like in Houston. 108 Laurel, Delmar, and 109 is what it's going to feel like in Willards and Pittsfield. Then for Sunday, we're still going to be in the triple digits. You get it? Although Sunday, technically, we won't be under another, extreme heat warning, but we'll be close enough in my opinion. Now, we have a chance of rain. Now, I was taking a look at Saturday. I ran these 3 models. We had about 1/4 of an inch for us perhaps in Georgetown and just over that in Ocean City. So I kind of widened the scope here. And so we're looking at a 1/10 inch of rain. So I'm not looking at much of a break because by the time we get to 7:30 Sunday morning, we may have a 1/2 inch in Ellendale, and that's being hopeful. Here's a look at how that rain's going to push across. Saturday morning, not much, a sprinkle or 2 perhaps, but it's really Saturday night where we look for that chance of a decent, quick dousing of rain to maybe break the pattern. As before we close out, I want to let you know about your celebration forecast. Saturday, 101, Sunday, 96. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Yeah, we are looking for another red alert day for July the 4th.
Thank you, Paul. On the eve of America's 250th birthday, we introduce you to the woman who has protected the Liberty Bell for decades, Debbie Miller.
If a sound could capture the spirit of the American Revolution, give me liberty, it might have rung out something like this. A 1-ton bronze bell that first tolled in the mid-18th century marked major moments in early American history. The signing of the Constitution, the deaths of George Washington and Alexander Hamilton, It would become known as the Liberty Bell.
It really was a bell that was there to bring people together.
For nearly 2 decades, archaeologist and curator Debbie Miller has cared for the bell and more than 2 million artifacts at Independence National Historical Park in Philadelphia.
Artifacts are the real thing. They're the literal, tangible, physical link to the past.
Preserving history became her calling.
I think one of my proudest days of being an American was actually when I was given keys to Independence Hall. There's the moment of recognition that, oh my gosh, I care for these things. I'm part of the story of America. Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof.
It would become a rallying cry for the anti-slavery movement in the 1830s. And again for suffragists in the early 20th century.
It will always carry new meaning, and I would argue that that's the power of it as well.
Long after the bell's final toll, it remained a universal symbol and a destination for everyday Americans to President Truman, Queen Elizabeth, and the Dalai Lama.
Ensuring that people continue to learn and to know and to grow in even their own identity as an American. That's really, really important.
Miller's mission is to help see that through.
The bell is now silent by the crack, but it's still ringing throughout the land.
Back here on Delmarva, over $1 million has been set aside for Gateway Corridor improvements in Cambridge. Congressman Andy Harris announced that the city has been awarded over $1 million through the Department of Transportation. Now, the funding will support work on the Cedar Street Gateway Corridor connecting Route 50 to downtown Cambridge, including drainage, streetscape, and pedestrian bicycle improvements to reduce flooding and improve safety. Coming up, this is probably what this segment this weekend was made for. Your cool things to do, boats, parades, fireworks. We'll show you everything to do this weekend for 4th of July.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
If you are still looking for a fun way to celebrate America's 250th birthday this weekend, we have plenty of things to do on the coast, from parades and fireworks to boat decorating contests and old-fashioned video games. Elisa Weber shows us all of the cool things to do this hot holiday weekend.
It's America's 250th birthday, and there's plenty of ways to celebrate on the coast. Lewis kicks things off in the morning on July 4th with old-fashioned children's games on 2nd Street, followed by the Independence Day Boat Parade, the ever-popular Doodah Parade, and fireworks over Lewis Beach at dusk. The Lewis Historical Society is also joining the celebration with hands-on activities.
And of course, we're going to have a series of craft activities, including hand-cranked ice cream that people can sample throughout the day, and of course our toy soldier painting activity, which is very popular among our youngest guests.
Also on the 4th, Dewey Beach will light up the sky with fireworks at 9 p.m., while Bethany Beach's display begins at dusk. Over in Ocean City, there are 2 places to catch the show on Saturday. Festivities begin at 6 p.m. on Northside Division Street and at 8 o'clock at Northside Park, with fireworks visible from both locations starting at 9:30. And if you're heading to Rehoboth Beach for the holiday, remember its celebration is Sunday with fireworks over the ocean at 9:30. For a full list of events and celebration details, head to CoastTV.com and click on the Cool Things to Do tab.
Coming up, from County Council to the White House, Joe Biden's political career has spanned more than 5 decades. We look back at the life of Delaware's first president as Coast TV News at 11 continues. Busy airports across the country. How many people TSA is screening this weekend?
We salute the Town of Berlin Police Department. At the Town of Berlin Police Department, a small force carries a big responsibility, keeping a close-knit community safe through dedication and trust. They are committed to community policing, building genuine relationships with residents, business owners, and town officials. We salute the men and women of the Berlin Police Department for their pride, their service, and their devotion to those they protect.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, Go to CoastTVSalutes.com.
Some things to know here. If you have a flight for 4th of July this weekend, you might want to get to your airport a lot earlier than normal. The Transportation Safety Administration says it screened almost 3 million people yesterday, and TSA expects almost 19 million passengers to pass through security checkpoints in total just between June 30th and this upcoming Monday. The CDC says West Nile virus season has begun early, with more cases reported at this point than in any other year since 2004. 48 cases of the mosquito-borne disease were reported in 23 states, and most cases are considered severe. As a precaution, the CDC is reminding Americans to be safe while outdoors over the 4th of July weekend. Their tips include using EPA-registered insect repellent and wearing long, loose-fitting clothing. New tonight, the Trump administration says it isn't giving up on the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool after Independence Day. The department is looking for a contractor to keep it clean in the long term. Whoever is hired will be responsible for daily maintenance beyond just keeping the water clear. Before that maintenance can happen, though, the pool needs repairs. The National Park Service says it plans to drain it and fix it after 4th of July celebrations are over. In entertainment news, the Nathan's famous international hot dog eating contest will be held tomorrow, 4th of July, in the Big Apple. Joey Chestnut, the 17-time winner of the annual competition, will compete to defend his title while on probation. Chestnut pleaded guilty to 2 counts of battery in April after he slapped a man in a bar in March, probably over hot dogs. According to court documents, a judge granted Chestnut permission to travel outside of the state for the hot dog eating competition, and he's looking to take home his 18th title.
America 250 on Delmarva, brought to you by Tidal Health Inc.
233 years after it became the first state to ratify the Constitution, the first person from Delaware was elected President of the U.S. Joe Biden brought global attention to the state and Rehoboth Beach area. Joe Biden's long career as a political figure began just prior to his 28th birthday, when he was elected to the Newcastle County Council. 2 years later, he was headed to the U.S. Senate, where he represented Delaware for 36 years. Due to Washington's proximity to Delaware, Biden famously commuted by train on a regular basis. His experience in the Senate led Barack Obama to tap Biden as vice president in a historic 2-term administration. In November 2020, Biden was elected the 46th president of the United States, the first Delawarean to hold the highest office in the land. Biden had to guide the nation through an unprecedented global pandemic and shape America's and NATO's response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. During his term, the White House was his temporary home, but he was a regular at his Delaware house in North Shores. Time away from the intensity of Washington, D.C. meant some R&R on the beach. He served the public for a half a century, and for over 70 years, Joe Biden has called Delaware home.
At the Tidal Health Family Medicine Residency Clinic in Salisbury, our dedicated team supports your family through every milestone in one accessible location. We provide comprehensive services including newborn care, routine checkups, illness visits, immunizations, and sports physicals. By combining a welcoming atmosphere with flexible scheduling and a team you can trust, we simplify healthcare for today's busy families. For more information, visit tidalhealth.org/yourfamily.
There's a lot of fireworks this weekend, a lot. Here is just a few of the places that will be having fireworks. On the 4th, fireworks will be at Lewis Beach, taking place at dusk. Also on the 4th, Dewey Beach will have fireworks on the bay starting at 9 p.m. Bethany Beach's display begins at dusk. In Ocean City, fireworks will be visible starting at 9:30 from both North Division Street and Northside Park. And at the nation's summer capital, Rehoboth Beach, fireworks will be visible starting at 9:30 at night. A graduate of Stephen Decatur High School is representing the United States on one of the world's biggest stages in sports. Steve Fell, a member of Steve Indicator's high school's class of 2001, is serving as a performance coach for the United States men's national soccer team as the squad advances to the 16th round at the FIFA World Cup.
Congratulations to homeboy there. All right, so in Milford, we're at 84 degrees right now. We're going to drop back to 82 by 2 o'clock in the morning. Right now, we're at 79 in Long Neck, 87 actually in Georgetown, but it feels like 96 in Georgetown. Feels like 100 degrees right now, even at 11:30 at night for us in Millsboro. So the extreme heat warning stays in effect throughout the entire Delmarva Peninsula, as well as the Northeast for at least one more day. And then our storm outlook is dwindling for the later on portions of tonight. So our umbrella giveaway winner is Kathy Campbell of Lewis. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis, property restoration experts. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. We have an update on what's happening with the hot weather and the UV index and how quick you can burn with that. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstedt, Mendalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Red alert day for tomorrow because we're expecting 102, heat index 115 or above.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, get out your phone, download Coast TV News app, and also our Coast TV First Alert weather app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow night for Coast TV News at 6. Everyone have a great and safe 4th of July weekend.